welcome to QI, where tonight we're looking at everything in the kitchen but the sink. Joining me at the breakfast bar, cooking with gas, Jason Manford. Sharp as a knife, Victoria Wood. Pointless as a spoon, Richard Osman. And I got this fork off Alan Davis. Let's hear your pingers. Jason goes. And Victoria goes. Richard goes. And Alan goes. We're having a kitchen supper tonight. Which of the following do you fancy? Take me through these lovely dishes. They're all real.
Is the buttock tongue Marks and Spencer's buttock tongue?
It's your buttock tongue. Work on tongue. Well, I'd be careful when I say that. If you just take the last three letters off tongue, you get...
Oh, so like a biltong.
Biltong is right. It's a hindquarters tongue, which sounds weird, but that's what it is. Biltong. Have you ever had biltong?
No, I'm a vegetarian.
Ah. Meet Alan.
Hold on,
He's a vegetarian
is biltong not vegetarian?
No. It's usually sold as ostrich biltong or dick biltong or some... I know some other animal, but they found in 2013, a very recent study, that 2/3 was incorrectly labelled. So horse biltong turned out to be beef biltong, and you believe. Disgusting. Revolting idea.
I think if you're eating that, I don't think you have to worry about what animal it's come from. Like, is
So what is it? The bottom?
It's dry. Well, it's the dried hindquarters, but it's called tongue, I think, because it's the shape of a tongue in the way that it's dried, rather than it comes from a tongue. Biltong, buttock.
So does it have the actual...
The hindquarters, which are buttocks on an animal.
But does it have the arsehole in it?
Not...
that's in hot dogs.
Has
I
it got
think.
a
Yeah,
tube?
they save that for hot dogs and pork pies. Yeah. So you can have beef, horse, impala, wildebeest, eland, giraffe and kangaroo biltong, apparently. Wow. Very nice. So that's a good one. We started.
Cleftico, that's on a menu in a Greek restaurant.
Yes, Cleftico, exactly. It does exist. And it was originally called Kleptico, which might give you a hint.
Someone stole it.
Kleptomaniac. Kleptos is a thief. And it was anti-Ottoman Empire bandits who lived in the hills. And they made up this dish, so it was named after them. It's a thieves' dish.
It's quite elaborate for a bandit person to be doing.
They were. You should see their soufflés. They were extraordinary. Actually, soufflés brings us all nuns' farts.
Right, so when you pop one...
Why specifically a nun's, though? I mean...
Nuns' farts smell like soufflé. Keep up. Just giving you that. When he gives you one, grab it.
Yeah. Take notice. A lot of French dishes have, or indeed European dishes, have their pumpernickel as a devil's fart. Pump, fart, nickel, old Nick. And that's a bread. So they have rude names. And isn't there a cheese which is a angel's tits or something like that? You can tell which ones are farting from their pained expressions.
All of that's like the cast of Dad's Army on it.
I think out of them all there, I'd say
one?
She's definitely farted and the rest don't know yet. Look at the smile. On her face.
That's a massive ball, and they all just put their faces through.
Nuns' farts are little balls of pastry deep fried and they puff up. Oh. They're also called whore's farts or Spanish farts in French. Pets, non. Pets is fart in French. These days they've disappointingly been renamed as nuns' puffs. Or possibly puffs, I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Bishops.
Bishops, yes, exactly. Well, pocket soup. How could you put soup in your pocket?
It's crazy, right?
It is. It's insane. There must be a way.
Yeah.
This actually is soup that has been...
Solidified?
Yes. Reduced.
Reduced.
Into a sort of... basically an early version of a stock cube.
Oh, right.
And then you reconstituted them by adding boiling water, as you do with your classic stock
But why
cube.
would you put it in your pocket?
To travel to
Keep your
work?
hands free.
But you know when you leave like a fiver in your pocket when you put it in the wash?
Yes.
That'd be awful if you left some pocket soup in your jeans.
The whole wash would come back as consommé. Most unfortunate. Treacle, anti-venereal treacle.
Wouldn't want to lick it off.
You're right.
It sold much better than pro-venereal treacle, didn't it? That
Yes. It really didn't.
Yeah.
The two great treacles.
The word treacle has had an interesting history. It now means...
It used to mean any sort of medicine, didn't it? Or any sort of...
Even without a computer in front of you, you're good. That is... have you got one hidden under there? No, I'm very impressed. You're absolutely right. A treacle was generally any kind of specific against diseases and things.
Or a term of endearment. Weird.
Treacle. Oh, yes, in EastEnders and that sort of thing, isn't it?
Treacle.
All right, treacle.
All right, anti-venereal treacle. That's what they call some of those characters.
Anti-venereal treacle. It's your anti-venereal treacle.
You're coming for your cheeks, my dear.
There's someone in America, Veruca's quite a popular name.
Really? Because
People
of,
copy
because
it from
of Charlie and the
Chocolate Factory. They don't know. They don't call Verucas in America.
Oh, so they don't know it is actually...
They don't know it's an
Veruca
awful
salt.
thing. Yeah.
Brilliant. I'm so pleased.
They don't call chlamydia.
Yes?
All you need to do is put it in a popular children's book as a name.
Brilliant.
Before you know it,
It would be one of the most popular
Barack
names.
Obama will have a daughter called.
Chlamydia Obama. Which brings us to dog and maggot.
Does it?
Well, it doesn't necessarily. It sounds like rhyming slang for someone of my persuasion.
I was going to go with the ITV show Taggart.
Oh, right. There's been a murder, dog and maggot.
Scotsman in the mist. See what I did there?
Yeah. If I would say hard tack to you, does that mean anything?
Chips biscuits.
Very good. Ship's biscuits were known as hard tack. And there's a famous scene in the battleship Potemkin. Do you remember, if you've ever seen it?
No.
The Great
I'm a
Eisenstein
vegetarian.
movie. That's going to be an answer to a lot of questions. No, I'm a vegetarian. The Potemkin was a ship in which there was a mutiny. And there's a scene of them cracking open a ship's biscuit and the maggots come. It's really horrible. And this is a British biscuit called dog because it was the consistency of a dog biscuit. And maggot because it had maggots in it. But it was in the First World War, it was part of the ration.
God, I think I'd rather eat the cutlery. That choice came up. Let's have a chew on this knife, don't worry about it.
I think I'd like with a
Do
fork.
you like spoon?
Rather than having all the prongs and a line, why can't they be in a kind of a square shape? So you've got to find a...
Do you know, hold
good
that
idea.
thought. Because we might be coming on to that later in the exam.
Wow.
Yes. It might come up. Sir said it wouldn't come up this term, but it might have come up.
I've revised that.
Yeah, OK. So that's your dog and maggot. We're left with the kunga cake.
Sounds African.
Very unlikely. It is African, but you were very unlikely to get this.
Is it a cake?
Well, it's...
Is it going to be dung?
It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
dung, no.
It sounded like dung.
It's animals, but tiny, weeny animals.
Termites.
Even smaller, actually.
Ants.
Midges.
Oh.
Midges.
Midges.
The midges, they come out from the river in their mating swarms in such numbers, they gather them and press them into a cake.
How do they gather them?
Well, I guess they're sort of with a net or something
Good.
similar like that.
It's about time they got their just desserts, those little sods.
And they're always talking these days about using all kinds of insects and things for the future of the human race, protein, you know, insects and... No?
No,
Yeah.
Do you remember I had an ant on this show once?
I do remember
and
having that.
I got a bit of its sort of carapace, and it was just for the whole show. I had it caught in the back of my throat. It
I was like that with
disgusting.
Deck.
That's very naughty, indeed. Anyway, there you are. Here's some unusual cutlery. I'd like you to tell me what kind of thing you could eat with them. You've all got some, but I'll start off with the one that you mentioned there. You said with tines...
you just invented that.
There you
a
are.
minute ago.
You see? Isn't it incredible? You mentioned something like it.
That's weird.
Isn't it? It's usage. It's very, very specific. You don't actually handle it yourself because you're so high-born that somebody else feeds you using that. With what on it, though?
Some sort of fruit?
No.
Is it a testicle?
It might include a testicle.
Oh.
Is it a scrotum?
It might include
What
a
else
scrotum.
really includes a testicle, Steve?
The whole schmear.
A whole mammal.
Yes, a whole mammal. Let's just imagine I'm talking to one.
Oh, God.
A comedian.
No, a cannibal. It's the point, a human,
human.
being.
Oh.
Yours is a reproduction sold as a souvenir item on the island of, or islands of...
White.
Man.
I mean, more accurate if you said the Isle of Man, I would have thought. We think of the Cannibal Island, it was part of the British Empire. It was
Oh, Guernsey. Oh, I might have known.
Yeah, you might have done.
Yeah.
Fiji is the answer. These are Fijian human forks.
Two cannibals are eating someone.
Yes.
And one says, you start the toes, I'll start the head. He says, all right. Halfway through, he says, you all right? He says, yeah, I'm having a ball. He says, you're going too fast. There you go.
Excellent work.
There you go.
Excellent
Cannibal
work.
joke for you.
All right, Alan, can you look and see what other items of cutlery you might have?
Got this one.
That you might recognise.
Once again, it's for,
That looks
clearly
useful
for
as well.
testicles.
If you did eat meat, it's quite common, reasonably common.
For fish.
Anyone? No?
It looks like it's for force feeding a suffragette.
The foreskin of a suffragette.
No, for force feeding.
I'm so sorry for force-feeding Emily Davidson.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
That's what Batman used to say, wasn't it? The foreskin of a suffragette.
Foreskin of a suffragette. Yeah, bad man. Or for clenching a nose. I'm sure the audience knows. Would you like to shout out? They all know that's for l'escargot, it is for snow.
Oh, is it?
You clench the shell and then you use a little winkling fork to get the flesh out. So there you are. And what have you got, Victoria?
I've got that.
Now that is interesting. You've also got a bowl.
I'm sure there's like one in my mum's drawer, or one of them.
Yes.
I've seen that. That's the only one I've seen. Is that
Your
rest on
mum's
a-
drawers.
On my mum's drawers.
It's
Does
a
it rest
buffet.
on- does it rest on
buffet
a-
spoon.
No, it rests on the side of
plate,
the bowl.
yeah,
The
on
most
the bowl.
useful thing,
Brilliant.
Oh, that's clever.
usually things for this substance are wooden with a sort of dome on the end and grooves around them.
Honey.
Honey. But this is even better for honey because you pour the honey into the
Yeah.
bowl or whatever, keeping it on top of that other bowl.
Yeah.
And then where do you put the spoon without stickiness?
Yeah.
You just simply put it back on.
I think other people have got more cutlery than me.
This, which is a
Very hard.
strange
If you guess that,
spoon with holes
I'll give you
in
100
it.
points if you guess what that is specifically for.
Oh, it's for Cocoa Pops, so you get the milk at the bottom. It's a chocolate
It would
stick.
work as
It would.
that. It's actually very specifically for terrapins and turtles.
I don't usually eat them.
You're a vegetarian.
Exactly.
Oh, I see.
The flesh is delicious, apparently.
Okay.
The giant turtle, famously.
Aren't they protected,
Or tortoise,
Stephen?
that
You're
was.
not supposed to be
Oh,
chomping
gosh,
away
no,
on them.
absolutely not. No, the Ridleys and
Well,
the...
why
all
are you
those-
saying we should kill them? And eat
No!
Why are you giving me
That's a bit
cutlery
weird.
to damage
We
territory?
used to.
No, it's a weird thing to say on television that we should eat turtles.
I take it back. No, we definitely shouldn't be killing them, obviously.
But they're delicious.
But there is a special piece of cutlery for them, and
We
apparently they're
happen to have
delicious.
some cutlery for them, and they're
Just
delicious.
in case.
And, Jason, what have you got? Oh, now this is interesting. Don't look at your reflection in it, that only upsets
I wasn't. I
you.
was seeing if that was what was unusual.
No.
Oh my God, it's Tom Selleck. That's weird. Of all the people.
Have a grip and a twist.
Okay. Oh,
Ah,
it turns. It turns like that.
yeah.
Is it supposed
All the
to-
way. Keep
Oh, all the way,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, and then it just becomes like...
It's broken.
It's a breakable spoon.
Brilliant.
No, but look in the spoon end, the ladle end. It's hollow,
Yeah. Oh, inside there.
so you could fill it with something.
A message.
Hot water.
Oh, I
water.
know. Oh, I was going to say turtle blood.